Clear, man. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner, guys. I'm here today with Nate. How's it going, Nate? I can't hear you at all. You must be muted.
Sorry about that.
All good. All good.
But yes, I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Good. I saw Nope twice now. And the reason I saw it twice, because I wanted to talk to you about this, is because I still didn't understand some of the what was actually going on. So I hate to start off like this, but if you haven't seen Nope yet, you should, first off. And
Yeah, what are you doing? It's one of Jordan Peele's best films.
Yeah, so I expected it to be a little bit more horror-y, but a lot more sci-fi than I anticipated. But I like that. I like the characters. It wasn't a huge crew, but it was a really interesting story. And
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go back and watch the other films now, because I haven't seen either of them.
You haven't seen Get Out or Us?
No.
Huh.
So I was wondering if I was like, do I have to see those to go see this?
No.
And then I was like, no, wait, there's no way, right?
No, they're not connected in any way, shape, or form. The only way they're connected is by Jordan Peele. That's about it.
Right. But I really liked the two leads, Keke Palmer and what was the other guy?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, he's good. When he was saying like when he there's like a part where he's in the barn and the kid first off, scared the shit out of me. Yeah, scared the shit out of me a little bit because I was like, are they doing what I think they're doing? I was like, they going full alien here?
Well, it's funny in retrospective because it turns to be a fake out, but the build up and the atmosphere to that moment, you're like, nope. You're kind of with them. You're like, holy shit, no, what are we doing here? Get out of there.
Just like the pure tactic of it. Like the kid came into the other window and then he gets punched.
Which somehow did not end in a lawsuit, surprisingly.
Yeah, somehow didn't a trespassing. They wouldn't have. Well, no, because people shoot robbers and get convicted of murder.
That is true. And in some states, the robbers will sue and then actually win, even though they were. Caught.
Overall, you're cutting in and out. Maybe it might be me. I don't know.
Hold on. Well, it might be me. I'm trying to do too many things on this computer. Cherokee is actually with me today, but she's doing other things.
I still like the poster. But
which one?
The Thor one.
Oh, well, thank you.
I want that. But speaking of Marvel, I don't know if you know, but so Disney has surpassed Netflix with subscriber amounts, which is pretty big.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty big because to pass Netflix, I honestly thought Netflix would always be the top dog just because everybody seems to, I don't know, subliminally have it. It's one of the ones they don't not get. If you're gonna get streaming instead of cable, everyone goes Netflix first, and then usually there's a. I usually say the average household has three. So maybe Netflix, Hulu, and then HBO Max or Disney, depending on whether you have kids or not. So to see Disney pass them, I mean, it's pretty cool. But I tend to stop paying for Disney if something's not playing that I don't want. For instance, nothing's playing right now, so I'm not paying for it.
Right.
Because I don't find it useful, to the general day to day.
Did you watch the I Am Groot shorts?
No, I watched one of
Disney
them.
Plus.
Yeah, I watched one of them, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Come on, man. They were cute and charming. Come on.
No, I don't have time to watch 6 minutes of
it's got that
a baby tree.
It's got that James Gunn dark humor.
Yeah, I watched the one where he's he's I don't know what he's doing. He's getting mad at another plant. It was the first one. I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I was I'm over it.
There's another one where he commits genocide.
What?
I shit you not. He commits genocide. Mean? Groot commits genocide on a population of organisms that are 1,000 times smaller than he is.
Oh,
he
God.
just steps on their whole colony and wipes them all out.
So no one's gonna care about. No one cares about the people that remember when Baby Groot like ate the eggs and they were fucking losing their mind about it. They're like,
Actually,
oh,
no.
he's a murderer.
You mean Grogu?
What did I say?
I
Baby Groot.
You
I said
said
Groot.
Baby Groot.
Yeah.
You said Groot.
I meant Grogu. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Too many G's. But yes, he was eating the eggs, and people were like, "Oh, he's a fucking murderer." I was like, "What are you talking about?" So
I mean, the whole thing's played up for laughs anyway. Just enjoy the laughs, enjoy the funnies.
Anyway, your boy Ezra Miller is back in trouble.
When is he not in trouble at this point? Like,
I'm over it. I'm over it. I can't defend it anymore. I don't know what to do.
No. But apparently we actually have statements from Warner Brothers this time, right?
Yeah. So no, I don't know.
Kinda, sorta.
What are you considering statements from Warner Brothers? The leaked information about the 3 options?
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a statement.
Okay.
I would say that was an informational leak from someone who wanted to let someone know in the public that these were the options, right? That's it. Because it's not like Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige comes out and he'll like say something, right? He'll address something like the question will be asked and he'll respond to it, right? That's a nail on the head statement, right? Statement from someone addressing an issue. Warner Brothers rarely gives such a thing. Rarely, right? It's always floated through the media and probably twisted.
Well, I think me and you can both agree. I mean, this is just one of those situations where shit has gotten so out of control and has gone downhill so much. Like, how are they still not making some kind of statement or public service announcement about this?
Well, apparently that's one of the. So, okay, now take it from me, right? I have I've experienced my own issues with like alcoholism and stuff. Did some things I was never proud of or wasn't proud of, I guess. So I understand if that's the scenario that Ezra is in, right? But you don't stick someone like that in a program and have them make like a statement about it. It's a very bad look because it's supposed to be like an anonymous thing, right? You're supposed to seek help for yourself and nothing else. That's really what they want you there for. If you're there trying to satisfy someone else's needs, you're not going to succeed in sobriety. You have to want to be there. So if Ezra is being pushed into a rehab, it's not going to work. Sorry. It's there's percentage, right? It does. I think it's like 7 out of 10 fail on each attempt. So the more
attempts, a fact?
Yeah. So not a good. Yeah, not a good statistic. In the world that we live in today, a lot of people are addicted to that fentanyl shit. So their chances of dying are higher than succeeding.
You should have seen the look on my girl's face earlier because I had a tooth removed about 2 months ago. And the painkillers they gave me were opioids. And we were getting ready to leave today and we got in the car and she was like, what's with the leftover opioids on your nightstand? I'm like, I don't take those. She started freaking out. She's like, Nathan, you're not supposed to do drugs. I'm like, I'm not in my room popping fucking pills, Cherokee. Like, come on.
I would. So that's the problem. But that's the problem is if I had those, right? Say I had a surgery and I'm talking about myself past tense. So, my addictive mentality, I wouldn't be able to just have those sit there.
Right.
Because they would be yelling at me. Like, and that's a bad thing. Like say what you will, like maybe Ezra's not a good person, but the drugs and alcohol probably aren't helping, right? They kind of take over in their own demonic way, right? Why do you think they call alcohol spirits?
Yeah.
That's a legitimate thing. No,
because you drink enough of it, eventually you start feeling like you're floating.
No, because you get possessed by something.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Some people that drink turn into different people. They call them spirit because it's like some people are not themselves, and that's the real fucking truth of it, right? Like it's a sad thing. So, but can that. He got convicted. They got convicted. I can't get that right, man. They got convicted of what is it? Felony burglary,
Yeah,
stealing liquor. So that leads me to one of two things.
in
Either
broad daylight.
right, either but I would have done it too. Because the next one is always the most important thing. So again, if it's true addiction, the addiction is feeding this behavior. However, again, these are my two things. So if he's stealing liquor, does that mean they're out of money? Or is it just for fun, like adrenaline? Because those are two different things, right?
Yeah, because
So
I highly doubt he's already spent that entire Snyder Cut check.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
Maybe.
these guys aren't these guys that were in those movies. They weren't pulling in tons of money yet. I mean, Gal and Jason, they're able to work their magic now because they're but I get Ezra just did the Flash. I don't know if they paid him for it yet. So that's what I want to know. I want to know, is the money the issue, or is it the
I don't know
drugs?
either. I mean, other than the Flash and the Snyder Cut, he's done. I mean, he's been in the
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah,
So,
that's another
but
one.
well,
I'm
here's another thing I thought of, because me and a couple of my relatives, we talked about this Wednesday night, and I brought up the whole addiction thing, and started talking about it a little bit, and my uncle was like, I don't think he's fucking addicted. I think he's just. You think there's an outside chance he's just
a
mentally.
menace.
He's just mentally not all there. You know what I mean?
I think that is 100% a possibility. Definitely something that should be looked at. Like, there are some people that are just menaces, right? When they get into positions like Ezra is now in, they just can't handle it, right? No one wanted to believe it about Shia LaBeouf. Nobody.
Oh yeah, Shia LaBeouf went fucking crazy.
Nobody wanted to believe that shit, right? Everybody looked the other way for how many years with Shia, right? While he was destructing Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that dude, did you ever see the fucking video of him where he's on like a video call, and it's like they're like doing a read through of a play, and his video is him in a truck just getting fucking hammered and just with a blunt in his mouth the whole time, and he would just forget his lines. This is like a legitimate, this was a PR thing that they did, and he showed up to it drinking in a truck, like on the side of the road. It was a train wreck, but you never heard about it.
Right.
But maybe that's what Ezra's doing right now. I don't know.
Or maybe, well, I mean, mental illness, mental breakdown, tomato. I mean, do you think maybe because recently, up until now, when this whole thing started, was there any evidence or history of him acting this way?
I would say so.
I mean, before this, I mean, before the Flash, before the Snyder Cut, because honestly, up until the Justice League, I really didn't know who Ezra Miller was.
Yeah, there was that thing with him choking the woman that no one knew if it was real or not. Looking back on it now, seems to be a little bit more real than not. But I mean, this is this person who had meltdowns on set, right? Like, just there was maybe looking back on it from hindsight's always going to be 2020, but maybe looking back on it, the clues were always there, right?
That there were little hints just sprinkled throughout.
Yeah, because when he choked that lady, there was enough disbelief. There was enough people saying, no, this could be a joke, right? So that it was kind of dismissed, and it kind of rolled over. Maybe Ezra in the studio, told, bought the lady out, said, fucking shut your mouth, sign this paper. Never happened, right?
That's very possible. Money's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, so that could have put that away. But maybe the studio's been cleaning up after Ezra, and there's things that we don't even know about. I don't work with him on a daily basis. Do you? There's probably a bunch of shit. The studio heads are probably looking at it like, oh, this was always going to be the case. I guarantee they have more insight. And if that's the case, they're partially to blame. They're, if not all, to blame.
Yeah, because
let's say they've been covering his tracks.
Because if that's the case, they're technically just enabling him at this point.
Yeah. So again, I think there's a lot more than meets the eye here. But
no pun intended.
Yeah, right. I really do. I think there's more to the story that we don't know, but maybe this was always going to be the case, and maybe it was always doomed. I don't know. But I find it hard to believe because Zack Snyder's usually pretty good about picking people.
Yeah.
So maybe everyone's gonna everyone strikes out once,
Right.
So
Well, once again, as human beings, we're so focused on our lives and we focus on just that. I mean, not saying it's not our responsibility to know every little thing that goes on behind closed doors concerning other people, but I'd imagine, like you said, there is more to this story than just what we're seeing.
yeah,
Because all the stuff that we're seeing right now, it's batshit bonkers,
yeah,
insane.
and it's always
Call it whatever you want to call it. It's just every single time you pick up your phone every day now, it's Ezra Miller did this. Ezra Miller's done that. Oh, he's out here butt fucking a donkey, doing something crazy. It's like is this guy actually like for real? Is he doing this for clout? What's going on here?
or is it, there's people that are claiming that they're being set up, right? Like people are
Right.
putting these stories out. There's the fucking larceny one didn't even it wasn't even a solo thing, because the next day there was a report about a woman and 2 kids. The government's looking for them so they can take the kids off the fucking property. Some people are saying that she's not that.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a roller coaster.
I heard one where they said he's holed up in a compound with a bunch of guns, like all Waco, Texas style and shit. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, regardless of the
It's like some of the shit you hear, you're like, is that real? Like, are we?
The sad thing is like I don't even say that to myself. Is this real? I'm like, oh, or I guess I'm saying it's not that I ask myself, could this be reality? It's whether it is or not, right? Is this real, or are they speaking the truth, or are they not? Is someone embellishing somewhere along the lines, right?
Is this guy actually fucking insane, or are they just blowing it out of proportion?
Yeah, but this is like a journalist's dream, right?
Like
an actor that
I pity all the poor bastards that are having to keep up with this man's antics.
Yeah. No, they're making a killing off of it. That's the bad part, right? Because that's the part of like, not to quote Donald Trump or anything, but like the fake news bullshit. Mm-hmm. There really is such thing as that.
Oh yeah.
There is such thing as fake news, and I hate that Trump's name is all over that word, because like we do have a problem in media with reporting shit for clicks or reporting the actual truth, right? Yeah. It's like that. What's that game when you like telephone, right? When you say something, someone starts it and then they say it to the next person, and like by the time it gets to the, around the clock, the story's been fucking butchered, multiplied. Like it's been twisted and mangled. So I think it's kind of that situation where people really don't care about the truth anymore. It's like the chaos. They like reading about it. But okay, so anyway, with that being said, though, Warner Brothers is reportedly considering 3 options. 1, fucking junk it, like everything else right now. Potentially junk it, right? Clearly, Zaslav is showing some sort of leadership where he doesn't give a fuck what the movie is. If it doesn't suit his needs right now, and like it doesn't fit his plan, he's not putting it out.
Yeah.
Right? They just put $90 million into a Batgirl movie that was fucking filmed and it's tossed out.
Yeah, done.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
I haven't either. You said $90 million?
Yep.
Like 90 million.
You know what he's doing? He's taking a tax write-off.
Oh, really?
Yep. That's basically like trading your not a star player, but say trading a, maybe a third string pitcher for like a draft pick. Right? It's like, you could justify it if the long term turns out, you can justify that move. Yeah. But right now you're questioning everything, right? You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like this thing was done.
Yeah,
it was done.
It's funny. I made a joke the other day when because they announced that they're canceling the CW Flash. I was like, no, you canceled the wrong one. What are you doing?
No, that show needed to go. You can't keep that on the air. Not if you want to. I always thought the CW really tainted the brand. It made it look childish. That's my opinion. Arrow was good. The Flash was decent for a little while, but overall,
I think it really started to dip around season 5. I think.
What?
The Flash.
Which one? No, It's way sooner than that. I maybe you liked it. I don't know. I watched it up until Crisis just because I had already invested so much time into it.
I remember seasons 1 through 3 actually being very enjoyable.
1 was awesome. The first season was great. Yeah. The second season, I definitely got through it, but the drama of it was starting to get on my nerves.
I like Zoom. I mean, Zoom is holy shit.
That was another thing about that show is the consistent speedster bad guy. It was it was very, very boring.
Well, they changed that up in season 4. That's when they brought in the Thinker.
By then it was already fucking done. By then the writing had already gone downhill. Arrow was, I don't know what Arrow did. Arrow started off so strong, and then once they built that like Arrow team Arrow, that's when it was like, oh, okay. And then Felicity and the Candace, Iris, whoever played Iris, what was her name?
I forget her name.
Candace Patton, right? I think that's what it is. Candace Patton.
I think
she was the worst Iris West that I when she was in a scene, I would literally have to fucking tune out. I couldn't do it anymore.
Was it just the way her character was written or her performance?
I don't know.
What was it for you?
I think it was both. When she said, "We are the Flash," I threw up a little bit in my mouth. And then I could never take it serious. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it did get a little, that you do have those occasional cheese moments like that where you're like, oh, really? You didn't need to say that.
But it was always like the we need to talk drama, right? The CW was always famous for that. Well, even when it was the WB, it was famous for that. Because Smallville was dramatic as well. People always prop Smallville up, but it was a drama. It was a WB show, right?
Yeah.
So they were always meant for like teens. Supernatural is my favorite show of all time. I'm happy to admit that Supernatural is definitely a teen drama. Right? There's just no getting around it. But the Flash, Arrow, not so much the Legends of Tomorrow, but they always had these moments like where it was like the character would storm off and then they would all look at each other for a minute and then one would storm off run off after it. Those moments, they would literally fill me with rage.
Yeah.
Because the Flash is like a comedic, lighthearted character and the show is taken over by this drama. And then it seeped into Arrow, and it just became very, very diluted.
Yeah.
And then you had shows like Titans come out. And whether you like Titans or not, yeah, I know. Fuck you though. Whether you like Titans or not, it was refreshing. It was refreshing in comparison to the CW.
I'll give you that. I don't know.
Because they were like, fuck Batman.
To me, I just can't get over Dick Grayson whipping out guns and killing people, man. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
I don't know, man.
I
looked past it. I looked past some of the stuff. Swamp Thing is still one of the best DC TV shows that has ever been aired.
And I love Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is fucking great.
Yeah, Doom Patrol I was definitely into until this last season. I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on. I was like, what is, like, I don't really understand where the timeline's going. I couldn't. Right. It was very weird. It was a weird season. But that's where Doom Patrol's always been good. Right? Is kind of towing that line between is it serious or not? Like, I don't think it, Brendan Fraser he makes the Doom Patrol show. The Robot Man. That's what makes Doom Patrol my favorite, like a good show. In my opinion. I love it. But do you think those shows are safe right now?
Honestly, I don't know. It's pretty uncertain right now. because you have all these projects that DC has announced and, they've said that they've wanted to do, but I don't know, just all these recent cancellations, man, it's got me worried.
They saying the Green Lantern show is like on the hook. I'm like, what?
Honestly, I didn't need a Green Lantern show.
So are we just saying fuck Green Lantern?
That's just me. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I could just have a bit of a bias because I mean, Green Lantern's never really been one of my favorite DC characters. So I'm sure there's people out there that really,
he's my favorite DC character other than Batman.
Really,
and that character consistently gets fucked because of Ryan Reynolds. Consistently gets fucked because of Ryan Reynolds. It's like it's the one character that they can't get the taste out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Like, let's get Batgirl on. Well, not anymore.
Shit.
Speaking of that, did you hear about fucking Blue Beetle?
Don't tell me they canceled it.
No, there was something about like a gang shootout.
What?
Yeah.
When the fuck was this?
It was a gang shootout. So you know how like right now Marvel's getting kind of tanked? Not tanked, but people are like shitting on Marvel because of the whole visual effects thing.
Yeah.
Why is my camera not working?
I don't know. Why not?
What the hell? What is Imaging Edge webcam? I have no idea what that is. I'll fix it. But anyway, so you know how Marvel, apparently they work their visual effects artists pretty good.
It is pretty good, even the right terminology.
No. They work them to the bone.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, Blue Beetle has a lot of visual effects work to be done, but they had to go do some reshoots. They didn't want to put more work on the visual effects team, so they ended up doing it. They scouted locations to do the reshoots at, but it was in Puerto Rico, right? So they went there. It was a pretty dangerous area, and something happened where there was like a gang shootout. No one got hurt or anything, but I mean, the crew was putting in a imagine you're shooting a movie, and all of a sudden there's a gang shootout, right? Like, that's not a fun thing to do. That's not a fun thing to be in, right? Especially as a movie star. Like, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. You're not a native of the place. You're the first person that's getting fucking kidnapped, homie. Like, I see a movie star and I'm a gang, I'm taking that motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Like,
right?
Can you imagine?
That's a payout.
Like, can you imagine if they got someone like Ryan Reynolds? Shit.
Yeah.
God.
But anyway, so all these Snyder idiots are making fun of it. But it's like, dude, if that was Zack Snyder, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if that was Zack Snyder and his fucking crew, bro, they'd be like, my thoughts and prayers are with Zack Snyder and his crew. Let me donate to charity for you. Like, they'd be sucking his dick so hard on that.
Subscribe to the channel to support Zack Snyder and pledge to my Patreon.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Film Junkie and Nicotina would be out there making fucking motion comics about it.
They're making little fan animations.
Yeah.
with the see you again playing in the background.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I'm saying. But notice how they don't care about Batgirl. No one's fucking releasing hashtag release Batgirl, right?
No.
This is what's going on right now, by the way, is the most eye-opening experience in the fucking world, because finally someone other than Zack Snyder is getting his movies taken away. And we get to see the way real DC fans act when DC projects are affected. Is it DC or is it Zack Snyder that you care about? Because the true colors have been shown. It's just Zack Snyder that they care about. It's not Batgirl. It's not Blue Beetle. It's nothing James Gunn. If it doesn't have Zack Snyder's name on it, it's not fucking important.
Right.
And that's a sad truth. But most of the DC fans that are out in Twitter right now are not DC fans. They're Zack Snyder fans.
According to our good friend Jeremy, it's just Warner Brothers. It's just Warner Brothers purging all the wokeness, purging all the woke stuff.
Did Ryan Kindle say that?
No, Jeremy was on. I think he was on Twitter.
Oh, wait, it was.
I think it was either Jeremy or Ryan, but one of them.
They don't really go after DC so hard.
Well, one of them was running their mouths about, this is a sign that Warner Brothers has had enough of woke culture. That's why they're canceling that's why they're canceling Batgirl. I'm like, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. No, that's what I mean. They don't really rip into DC.
Right.
They're saying that as they're defending them. They're like, get rid of it. Get rid of Batgirl.
Yeah.
They think Zaslav is like them, but he's really not. He's a businessman, right? So
I can't take anything those idiots say. Seriously.
yeah, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. But anyway, I mean, so the three options that right now Warner Brothers has for the Flash and the future of the DCEU, if we think about it, is, number one is Ezra could do no press, like literally be not even really part of the movie, aside from being in every scene, which is why they can't reshoot it.
Right.
It would be too much work. You'd be better off just starting from scratch if you did that.
Plus, I don't think any director or any crew members are going to want to work with Ezra for prolonged periods of time after all this.
No, I'm saying if they went back and reshot this with someone else, you'd be better off starting from scratch, because Ezra's in almost every scene, sometimes twice, right? Because he's playing two different versions of his character. So not only is Ezra in it almost every scene, but sometimes Ezra's in it 2 times, 3 times, right? So the work would be daunting, and you'd be better off just fucking starting from scratch. So the 3 options right now are, number 1, toss it the fuck out, right? See you later. That's it. Storybook closed, and we move on. The other options are he does no press, and they release the movie in theaters and hope it goes well, right? That's my favorite option, by the way. That's the best option, I think. Just hopefully no one notices. Just put it out. Hopefully Keaton and them can draw people in, and hope for the best. At this point, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like enough people know about this situation to where, and
I'm not saying release it tomorrow.
I hate using the word boycotts because I feel like it's so thrown around these days for everything. But to me, I just feel like, all the antics with Ezra, that's definitely going to affect the movie in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I know, but what is it gonna? I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, I just know how people are, and they're not going to support it just because he's in it.
Yeah, I know, but you can be, as a studio, that's where I think transparency might actually work in Warner Brothers' favor here. I think if Warner Brothers honestly came on the stage or did a press conference and was like, listen, this movie, we've invested so much money into it, right? We don't condone anything, we are recasting the role going forward. However, we are going to put this movie out. We'd appreciate if you supported it and didn't hold it accountable, because there are other people that worked on this movie day and fucking night.
Right.
Put their souls into it. Not just Ezra worked on this film. So, they could spin the creativity thing on its head and be like, you guys wanted Zack Snyder's movie for creative freedom. We got to but then they bring up Batgirl, right? So there's the ping pong that now we're facing, because you could try to put a spin on it and go for, the other people that were involved, but then people would throw Batgirl in their face and be like, what about those people? And then, this is a dicey fucking situation.
Yeah.
I would not want to be Warner Brothers right now.
The saga of DC and the war with Warner Brothers continues every day.
Yeah. And then the other option is Ezra goes to rehab, puts out a statement, says, I'm going to get better. And they continue with Ezra. See, that I think that one is the most little.
Well, plus me and you just had a whole mini conversation about addiction, and you said, about 90% of the people that go into those programs never pass. So
yeah. However, but if they were really going in with the hopes to get better, I would never say they couldn't do it, because I would put my faith. I don't want anyone to fall prey to addiction. I want everyone to succeed. I'm just saying the reality is more people fail. right?
Yeah.
I'm like statistically, I am a miracle. And there's a chance that I don't make it still, right? 5 years in, there's a chance that I kill myself, like doing something stupid, relapsing. There's, a high probability of that. So, do I want to be a statistic or do I want to be the outlier? I'd rather be the outlier, right?
I think you're doing pretty damn good at being the outlier.
Yeah. Right. If you can put on a show,
right.
You don't see me crying in bed at every night. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. That doesn't happen.
No.
Doesn't happen. Anyway,
I do.
I do too. In the fetal position most often, right?
It just curled up in a ball in the corner, just questioning my life.
Yes. I'm like, the UFOs are gonna come get me. They're gonna come get. But dude, at the end of Nope, what the hell was that thing turning into? I didn't understand it. But I didn't understand that part. That's why I saw the movie twice.
Well, that's kind of what I was alluding to when I told you I like what the movie. I like what Nope took what we already know. Well, it kind of took what we already knew about the UFO phenomenon.
But I also think if they stuck it to just if that was just a regular UFO, that movie would have still been scary as shit. And cool.
Yeah, but I appreciate that they went the extra mile and tried to do something different with it. Yeah, because for a while you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's a UFO. It's just sucking people up. Well, you get the scene with Stephen Yoon and the little gathering, and people are just getting grinded into meat pretty much.
Yeah, I know, but I think part of like the cool thing about the UFO phenomena is like abductions, right? Like people getting taken aboard craft and like experimented on, right?
Yeah.
For like an alien, like kind of like what we do to cattle, right? We tag them, send them back out into the wild and shit. So I think that's part of like the draw to it, or to the mystery of it all. So to take that and get rid of it and kind of make it something else. Listen, I'm okay with it because I know that there's, for every movie like Jordan Peele's, there's going to be 3 like mine that I just described, right? So the more creativity but then again, like, I don't know, there were things that I would have done differently, but again, I'm a person who thinks that this shit's really happening outside, right? So again, I have my preconceived notions about what these things are. They're not what Jordan Peele just did. I already know that.
No, he basically, like I said, it went from being a UFO to basically being, oh, this thing is alive. It's a sentient creature that
it's
people.
Territorial and it's hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
And I finally had to sit down and do some research to figure out what was up with that goddamn chimp. Like, what was the message behind that?
I think the message was. Wait, because I didn't look into that at all. Now don't say anything because I want to see if I got it right.
Okay.
At one point there's a shoe sticking up, straight up, and I couldn't figure out if that was the message or not. Something was happening there. There was some sort of anomaly that was causing this chimp to go insane, and because he kind of snaps out of it, you can see him snap out of it, and that's when he hits her in the foot, and he's like, "Yo, you alive?" And then he kind of comes up and he gives the dude a fucking fist bump.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was the actual chimp. Whatever was eating those motherfuckers was not. Right?
Right.
Is that what was going on?
From what
something was changing his brain chemistry.
Well, from what I read, I mean, that's some good stuff you pointed out, but from what I read, it had nothing to do with what you just said. Basically, from what, I mean, it's good. You're thinking a lot harder about it than most people, because
why would you include that scene if it didn't have anything to do with anything?
Well, one of my complaints about the movie when I reviewed it was, I like Stephen Yoon. I like his character. Stephen Yoon is a great fucking actor, but to me, I kind of felt like his character was just kind of not needed. Like, I felt like the movie could have flowed without his character entirely.
Yes, you want to know why? Because part of the fucking scariness of what's happening. I mean, listen, it was literally the last show I did was with the security guy from Skinwalker Ranch. The ranch aspect of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pulled right out of Skinwalker Ranch, man. That's literally like, that's what goes on there, bro. Like that's what they think happens. Up on the mesa, they're talking. I mean, the geographic location of it was different, and the scenario was different. But I mean, that was fucking, for lack of a better way to put it. I mean, they're pulling from Skinwalker Ranch and that whole ranch UFO correlation, right?
Well, there's a pretty big parallel between the chimp and the UFO in the movie, from what people are saying. Apparently, because in the movie they established that he's trying to tame this thing for performances and shit. It's kind of the same thing with the chimp. That's the parallel. You can't, you can't. It's getting aggravated. You cannot control its true nature, no matter what you do.
You can't control a wild animal.
Yeah, and the more you try, the more it's going to lash out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is kind of a parallel there that does make sense.
If you can, I don't know if it's online yet or anything. Go back and watch that where they finally show what happens. Go back and look at the chimp's eyes during what's happening. Something about the eyes, and then why is the shoe sticking straight up like that? It's not like it's balancing there, right? Like a weird dude. It's fucking jetted to the ceiling, like
right.
It's not falling, and then when it falls is when the chimp stops fucking attacking.
Yeah, I don't know. You're sitting there watching it, wondering, is there something invisible there that's holding it up? You know, like what is going on here?
Something else was going on in that moment.
I thought the whole, because they flash back to it so many times in the movie. I thought it had something to do with the aliens. I'm like, okay, this is gonna tie back into the alien aspect and the UFO aspect, but they never really stop and explain what is going on.
Yeah, another thing, I didn't even think I had a big problem with this until we just started talking about it. That was probably that's my biggest problem then, is that I don't know what the fuck that scene was for now.
Right. It's just
there's another thing that happens with the cinematographer, where I was messaging you about it earlier. It didn't make any sense to me why. So something happens. They're getting the shot, or they're getting shots, and then something blacks out the fucking camera. So this dude runs away with the camera with him. By the way, this is not an electronic camera. The photos aren't being uploaded to some server somewhere. They're in the camera. You need to develop them, right?
Right.
So he runs away with the camera to get the quote-unquote Oprah shot, but gets sucked away with the camera, helping nobody. I could justify it if he was sacrificing himself to like save the other guy, but that's not what he was doing. He was trying to go get the shot.
Right. Once again,
made no sense to me.
And like I told you before the show, I think, it was the third act. It's getting really heated. I think they literally just threw him in to die because, oh, well, we need someone to die because this is our climactic third act. You know what I mean?
That's also a good point. But I would have killed the other kid. If it was down to killing one person, I would have because you grew attached to the let's call him the Best Buy guy, right?
It might as well be Best Buy.
Might as well be Best Buy. I don't remember what the company was. You kind of grew attached to him. So killing him like that would have been much more impactful as an audience member.
Well, even Daniel Kaluuya's character, there was a moment where I thought he had died.
Yeah.
Until they reveal that he's still kicking. You're like, oh, whew, okay, he's still alive. Cool. But
he was my favorite character, obviously. I think the movie has way more good than bad. It sounds like we're kind of just focusing on the bad, but these are two little, they're problems, but honestly, I enjoyed the fucking movie. I gave it like an 8.7. I had a lot of fun.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that I enjoyed it more than the Black Phone, because I really love
one, right?
Yeah, because I enjoyed the shit out of the fucking Black Phone. Like, when I make the top 10 list at the end of the year, I think either this movie or the Black Phone will be on that list. I need to watch them both again, just to kind of make that decision. But I mean, I enjoyed the movie for what it was, man. I think it's the best film that Jordan Peele has done. Because I know you said you want to go back and watch Get Out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll have to take your word for it because this is the only one I've seen.
They're not, and you told me this movie was very horror-esque. I think this movie falls more into the realm of thriller than horror,
sci-fi thriller.
Yeah, because the movie relies on a lot of atmospheric and tension. Let let me rephrase that. It relies on a lot of atmospheric scares, and the whole time you're just tense as shit. Like, dude, there wasn't one moment during that movie where I was not on the edge of my seat. Like,
yeah, man, I fucking spilled my Coke all over my French fries.
Dude, the opening sequence where he's just chilling in the field with his dad, and all of a sudden shit starts falling from the sky, and he turns around and looks at the camera, and half his fucking face is missing. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I thought, I really thought Glover was going to be in it for a while. I was so happy. I love that guy. But he got
wait, I thought that was Keith David.
Wait, did I say, who did I say?
You said Glover.
The guy that was in Supernatural. Not Glover. Why did I say Glover? Yeah, he was Rufus in Supernatural.
Yeah.
Right? That was the dad, right?
I thought it was Keith David.
No, not Glover. I said the wrong name. But it was the same guy who was in Supernatural as Rufus. That's the actor. I don't know. I said by accident. I always mix those two guys up because they kind of look
similar. They both look the same.
They do. They also speak the same.
Right.
But I like him. He's a great actor, and I think I was kind of excited for him to be in more of it. But I think someone needed that scene needed to establish what the fuck was happening. And when you finally see the key sticking out of the horse, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, something's not right here.
Just without spoiling anything for Get Out or Us, because you said you hadn't seen them yet. I like Nope in the sense that it takes a bit to get going. Like, you're anticipating that something is going to happen. You kind of already know where it's going a bit. And, the alien stuff is great. And that's what makes this movie so good. Get Out takes a while to get going, but kind of like this movie, when it kicks it into high gear and you really start figuring out what the fuck is going on, you're like, holy shit, what am I watching?
Is Get Out more horror?
No, it's very thriller-esque, kind of like Nope is. Oh. Us can be categorized as horror, because there are moments in it that are very slasher-esque. But it does also rely on a lot of atmospheric, tension, kind of like these other two movies do.
Maybe I judged him a little bit too soon. I thought, because I don't like going to see those like really not generic, but like really obscure horror films. I just don't care for them. The stories never interest me, right? Like, they're good, right? Like, I like that paranormal shit, but like, some of it, like even like The Conjuring, it's fun sometimes, but like I have to be in the mood for it, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna come home from work and look at my TV and go, you know what? I'm gonna watch Insidious.
Yeah, like,
like,
what I kind of want to watch Evil Dead. I want to watch some fucking eyeballs get like pins through them. Like, that's not my idea of a good time.
Well, my stupid ass would be like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Army of Darkness.
Yeah,
because Army of Darkness is awesome.
I like watching things like Westworld and like getting my brain to think, right? So that's those are the stories I tend to, stick to. Actually, on Netflix, for a long time I was putting it aside because the series got canceled. It was with Katie Sackhoff, and it was called shit. I just watched it.
Damn it, Tyler! Gotta control that train of thought, man.
Man, I just do so many things every day. I can't remember half of it.
You know what? You know what? I'll talk, and if you remember it, just kind of interrupt me.
Yeah. All right,
it's funny looking at that Spider-Man poster on your wall behind you, because Netflix actually has the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon on there.
Yeah.
And I binged the whole first season yesterday and the day before, and dude,
it's called Another Life.
It's the show.
Yeah, the show's called Another Life, and it got canceled after 2 seasons, but I thought it got canceled abruptly. No, they finished the story.
Mm-hmm.
But they were gonna try to renew it and keep it going. But it definitely ends on a wrap up. Like, it's a satisfying ending. So I never wanted to watch it because I don't want to watch a show that gets fucking canceled. And you don't get to see what happens throughout the whole, you don't get to see the whole thing.
Yeah. Especially when it ends off on a really bad cliffhanger to the point where you're like okay,
Colony.
or another one, and this could be me because I feel like the only motherfucker in the world that likes the show. Salem. Salem is another show that got canceled very abruptly. Yeah,
I
it
don't even know
went.
what that is.
You've never seen Salem?
No.
Think Supernatural, but a lot darker, gorier.
Yeah.
lot of nudity. It's very mature. Like I forget what network it originally aired on, but man, it's a retelling of the Salem witch trials, but it's very soap opera-esque. But man, when it kicks into high gear and starts doing crazy shit, you're like, wow, they put a lot of effort into the shit they do.
I was talking to some guy the other day who's working on he's on Salem's Lot, the new movie that they're making, because it's being filmed right around here, and he's been consulting on it. And I kind of picked his brain about how it's looking and shaping up to be, because some of the, Stephen King right now, they'll just make anything, right, of his anything with a Stephen King title.
Firestarter.
Yeah, it's got like they just think they can anything with a Stephen King, moniker is going to make money, but that's really not the case. So I'm like kind of probing him, like, what's the production value? What are the sets looking like? So far so good. I can't really say too much because I don't know too much. But everything apparently is running smoothly on that, and I like the fact that it's actually being filmed in Salem. Like in and surround in the area and the surrounding area. So definitely some good things there.
It's funny you mentioned Stephen King because I recently did the 500 subscriber video special for my channel, and I attempted to count down my top 10 favorite movies of all time on there, and number 6 on the list was The Green Mile.
Yeah.
I love The Green Mile. I
didn't even know that was actually Stephen King.
I didn't know at first either. I actually had to look it up a few years ago to figure it out, but I think some of his books and some of his properties, they can be adapted if done right.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
it.
obviously.
You got it chapter 1 and 2, which, by the way, some of my favorite horror films in the most recent years.
Yeah, I think they killed it with that.
Oh yeah, dude.
So much better than the original.
Skarsgård is fucking horrifying in those movies.
I actually enjoyed, because I didn't like the original It. I grew up at a time where I watched it. I was young. And I just didn't like it because it was clowns and shit. So regardless, when I grew up and like actually got into movies, I still had this preconceived notion about it built into me, right? And same thing with Star Wars. Like, I figured it out recently that that's what they were. They were these things that I already had built into me to not like them. Just they didn't gel with me when I was younger, and when I grew up, I kept that bad taste in my mouth. Right. But going back and watching it, I could see what it's appreciated for, but it's so hard to watch the quality of it because no one remembers. Well, they do remember that was like a TV movie.
It was originally a mini series. That's what I remember.
The production value was very shitty. Like the movie's a cult classic, and I get it, but same thing with Star Wars. Trying to watch it when you're 27, and movies have come so far. It's really hard to watch things like Star Wars, A New Hope, because
plus, Tim Curry is such a damn meme in that movie. Like it's
meme.
It's very campy and does not hold up well today at all.
Yeah. So when they remade it, I appreciated the story that much more because. And by the way, did you ever watch that Stephen? It was a show that was on Hulu. It was a Stephen King based thing, and it was kind of tying everything together. Like it had aspects of it in it, like and it had aspects of other Stephen, like Cujo and all those. It had little things and it was trying to say that all of it was in the same universe, basically.
The only show I can think of is Lovecraft Country, but that's not on Hulu.
No, there Castle Rock. That's what it was. Castle Rock, where it was like fucking. There was like these little not Easter eggs, I guess, but that seemingly tied all of it together, and it started looking like they were trying to build this like Stephen King universe, but I don't think that's the plan anymore because like one might overlap, but
yeah.
not
Well, like
to a
I said,
degree that we want.
there are just certain stories of his that I feel like you just can't adapt because of how silly they are. I mean, do you remember Sleepwalkers? Ever
No,
heard of it? Or
no.
it's
Dude, the guy Stephen King has 62
think
books, and then
there
it's like
was a
70 actually.
there was a time period in Stephen King's life where he did nothing but just sit in front of a desk, write shit, and snort a
Snort
lot of
coke.
coke and snort a
Yeah,
lot of coke. And
snorted a lot of
dude,
coke when he was doing that.
Sleepwalkers is one of those movies that is just so bad that it's good. Like, you watch it to laugh at it. That's how fucking bad it is.
Right.
Think energy vampires that they suck your life force from you, with their hands and shit, but they can mutate their bodies and change the way they look, but they're ultimately just cat people. Dude, that movie has some of the worst dialogue and writing and cinematography I've ever seen. But dude, it is so fucking cheesy, and the actors in the movie are just going at it for all it's worth, to the point where you're like, man, I can't help but laugh at this. That dude, there's a scene in the movie where one of the kills, this is the most famous kill from the movie. The bitch, one of these creatures, she takes a fucking basketball, throws it at a guy so hard that when it hits him in the head, his fucking head just like implodes and explodes. Like, the whole thing's done with practical effects. So just blood and flesh is just flying everywhere. She throws a basketball at him and his head just explodes.
What a terrible kill. That's like such a thoughtless. That's like a no. There's no thought to that.
And she's got magic bullets. There's like a shootout scene in the movie with the cops where every time she shoots at a cop car, it just fucking explodes for no reason.
You know that show. Shit. What was it called? It was like it was on FX. Fuck. I'm having a bad memory day.
Dude, Fuzz, bring that up real quick. Fuzzbuzz said Green Goblin semi. Nuff said, I know what he's talking about. Do you remember it was another Stephen King adaptation, but this one involved cars and vehicles coming to life.
Oh God. Maximum Overdrive?
Maximum Overdrive. Yes. There's a truck in that movie that's got literally the Green Goblin's face on the front of it. These trucks are just running around this little plebe ass town killing people, man. Like, Stephen King was on some shit when he wrote some of these stories.
When you snort enough coke for enough time, and like, say you do coke, right? It's a drug that you never want to put down, and you can never have enough of it, right? So you can snort coke for 6 days in a row. By like the second or third day, you go into like what they call a coma. It's basically like, not a coma. That's not the right word for it. But you go into
it's some kind of state. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like you basically turn into a fucking zombie. You're cathartic. You're catatonic.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and all you do is keep snorting coke, and like you can get people lose a bunch of time when they do it, right? Days, right? Same thing when you take a bunch of Adderall, a bunch of speed. Where time fucking speeds up so hard that you lose a bunch of time. And you have no idea where it came from. So I can't imagine the worlds that dude could create.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's made there's a lot of movies. I mean, we already touched on, the 2 It remakes. I love The Mist, the movie, not the TV show. I thought the TV show was absolute crap. I love the movie with Thomas Jane, and dude, it's got one of the best endings I've ever seen in a movie, period. Like, it's so good to the point where Stephen King actually went on record and was like, if I had actually thought of that back when I was writing the novella, I would have put it in the book. I was like, wow. I love The Shawshank Redemption. I love The Green Mile, like we already touched on. Pet Sematary is another one I really fucking enjoy, man. Like, you ever seen Pet Sematary?
The remake is actually the bad one.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the original classic, that came out a long time ago. It's a good movie.
Like, Cujo is even like a classic, but
Oh yeah, it's definitely a cult
So
classic.
stupid.
I know, like what I know rabies will fuck your animal up, but I don't think they fuck your animal up like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone put a fucking bullet in the thing's head, it'd be over. That's it. Story is dead.
That's why
3 pages in, it would end with, and they put a bullet in his head.
they did. I know they tried to adapt the Dark Tower with Idris Elba
Yeah,
a few
that
years
was the
ago.
one. That was the one that I was super, super, super fucking sad about because I thought the movie wasn't as bad as it was made out to be. But I didn't read the books, so I had nothing to base it on. Apparently, it was not a good adaptation, but I was really enjoying it.
Well, the books are very slow. It takes its time to build its world, build its characters, and tell you what's going on, and the when, why, and how, pretty much. But
Right.
yeah, that movie was just 100 miles an hour. Idris Elba running around, being over the top, ridiculous, doing crazy shootouts.
Dude, speaking of Idris Elba in crazy scenarios, before Nope, they played that trailer for The Beast.
I know what you're talking about.
Dude, speaking of Cujo,
hold on. We were at a screening. I think it was Thor: Love and Thunder. My uncle was there with me. They played the trailer for Beast before that movie started, and we're sitting there watching it, and we're like, okay, we like the atmosphere, we like what they're trying to do. This looks like it could be something. And then he punches that fucking lion in the face with his bare hand. I'm like, okay.
By the way, that lion, I there are some parts of that trailer I'm like when they're talking about the laws of the jungle and how we're in his territory now, I'm like, yo, they could really get something here. And then, like you said, then some over the top hokey pokey shit happens.
You were selling me up until I saw that, and now I'm like, okay, this movie's okay. That's what this movie's gonna be.
Yeah. So that happened, but
he punched that shit like he was Henry Cavill punching Zod, motherfucker.
Yeah. But the movies like that have been actually doing pretty well. There was that shark one. No, was it a shark? No, it was an alligator or something.
Crawl? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like that one had a good, pretty generic premise, but it did something that a lot of movies didn't do. So that's when they were building the whole fucking being hunted by a lion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think back to like things like The Revenant. What was the best part of The Revenant? Yo, as much as you hate,
attack.
As much as you hate to think about it, the grizzly attack. So if we can get a whole movie about like that kind of shit, hey, listen, I'm all for it. But then you had Idris Elba punching tigers. I mean, fucking lions in the mouth. By the way, this lion is like the size of a bus. Not really, but like
clearly there's something else going on with it too, because it's not like a regular lion.
Yeah, it's definitely agile. It's an agile lion. There's something definitely up with its brain.
Since we're talking about thrillers, there's a movie coming out next weekend that I was screening for. It's called Fall. Have you seen the teaser trailer for this?
No.
It's two people trapped on just this ridiculously tall tower out in the middle of the fucking desert with no climbing equipment. I don't know why the hell they're up there.
Like a building?
No,
so like one building in the middle of nowhere. Or is it like a mountain?
It's like an electrical tower, or like a TV antenna. It's
really
weird.
Okay.
But they're just chilling up there, and this thing is just thousands of stories in the air. It's an entire movie based on two people just trying to get down this fucking tower from this really high.
Are you gonna go see it?
I gotta go see it, man. It's a movie playing off my greatest fear is fucking heights.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fucking fine during it.
Oh man.
I hope you get some vertigo and you fucking regret it.
Dude, I'm gonna be up in the chair like this. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, I'm gonna fall. Oh,
yeah,
no.
There is that they showed the trailer for Oppenheimer. Kinda.
That's a movie I need to see in IMAX.
Yeah, but I really hope it's not in black and white like I think it's gonna be in.
I thought about that too, because from the little 50-second trailer we got,
black and white.
I hope not either. As cool as that would be for like just the time that the movie is set in, but nah, I don't need it in black and white.
No, that's the thing, man. It's like we've come so far in cinema. We don't need a black and white movie from Christopher Nolan. I can do with the color. Give me the color. I like the color. That's like the best part of IMAX is the fucking beautiful cinema, right? So yeah, black and white can be beautiful too. Don't get me wrong. Like Zack Snyder's but that wasn't even black and white. That was like chrome.
Yeah. I watched with when I got my Logan Blu-ray, I got the noir version with it. So the entire Logan film is in black and white.
Yeah, but so I mean, the movie is going to be pretty fucking insane. But that's the thing with Chris Nolan lately. You know, what was that? The movie. It wasn't the last one he did, but the one before that.
Dunkirk.
Thank you. Yep. Dunkirk, I didn't like as much as I thought it was going to. But there is that new movie coming out from Sony Pictures, with the guy. He's like talking to the mirror, and he's like, "You're never gonna land this fucking plane. You ain't shit." That movie looks dope. I'm all in on that.
Did you not like Tenet? Did we ever talk about that?
I like Tenet. I liked it.
You like Tenet? Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand why there was a sound problem. Whoever mixed that movie fucked up, because I remember seeing in theaters and it would get loud and soft and loud and soft and loud and soft. And I remember being upset about it. Like in the movie theater, I couldn't hear some shit, but I could too clearly hear other shit.
Right.
And then when I watched it at home, same issue. So there's a literal problem, like a technical issue. But I try to look past that. And yes, I like Tenet. I did not like Dunkirk. I didn't understand where it was going until it was too late. And
did you like? I know it's not a Christopher Nolan film, but you know, since it's a war movie, did you like 1917?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
did too.
Yeah, you know, there's when they're running through the field, when you think it's a long shot, you know what I mean, like a continuous shot. It's not, but they did a very good job of making you think it was, and that was so tense, tense. Still, I mean, I think Hacksaw Ridge is probably the best wartime movie that's come out in the past 10 years, though.
Well, that's Mel Gibson, man. I mean,
yeah, but there's nothing that can even come close to it. That was so brutal. Brutal.
I think the only other war film I've seen, I had seen
Ryan.
Yeah, up until that point, Saving Private Ryan was pretty much the only war. Well, maybe Fury, the one with Shia LaBeouf, John Bernthal.
Yeah. But that was in a different style.
Yeah.
That was more of a situational thriller, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not really like in the whole war. You're not seeing the whole war or you know, specifically one battle, but one tank's perspective of it, right?
Yeah.
So Fury and David Ayer fucking killed it with Fury, right? Just absolutely murdered it. Very tense. That's another actually that, you know, that's probably up there too. Hacksaw Ridge and Fury, probably the two best war films that I've seen in the past like 10 years.
But if you were going to put me on an island and ask me, okay, you got, you know, two choices for war films. You got Fury or Hacksaw Ridge. Which one are you picking? I'm going to go with Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge, yeah. Hacksaw Ridge.
Like, because it feels like two different movies almost. Like the first half of it is this really serious character drama. You know, they do a good job of building up Andrew
and then
Garfield
people are just getting smacked in the head with bullets, and you're like,
oh yeah,
shit.
Second half of that movie, people are getting ripped in half and just riddled by fucking bullets. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. You know what's funny about that is I actually watched that for the first time when I was getting sober in the program. We watched it with the whole fucking place. Like we all got into, dude, this is like high school style. We all packed into the kitchen area or like the living room kitchen thing. And they put it up and played it for us. Cause like, I hate to tell you guys, but when you go into like programs like that, you do not have TV, nor do you have your cell phone or anything, right? You're back to the basics. So, when we watched that movie, I don't think they thought the people that run that program, I didn't think they thought it was going to be like that. But Then people,
they're like, oh shit, we just fucked these guys up for life.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then people started getting fucking their heads blown up, and it was, dude, that was one of the most, and that's why I have such a good memory towards it as well. Is my situational, point of view. It was just so refreshing to see. So yeah, I really like Hacksaw Ridge.
I forget
But
when
what's
this
that
one.
new one? I want to watch the trailer for it. The one
Oh,
he's saying like you ain't shit. You're not gonna land this plane. What is that called?
fuck, man, I forgot the name of it.
I'll
I was
find
gonna
it.
say, I forget when this one came out. American Sniper, man, that's another good one. I really like this one.
It's called
Bradley.
Devotion.
Oh,
American
Devotion.
Sniper was good too, but
it's not as intense as Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, it's not as intense. It's yeah, I think that's a good movie as well. But there was a lot of people like my cousin Sean, was a Marine, is a Marine. And like, I watched that movie with him, and it was way too emotional. Like he knew that guy, and I'm like, this is uncomfortable.
I don't know if you could watch movies like that with family members who have served, because I remember,
Like, not only did he serve, but he knew the guy. It was so uncomfortable.
Well, my great grandfather was actually there on Omaha Beach during D-Day.
Yeah.
Like took a bullet in the literally took a bullet in the ass for his country. That's not a figure of speech.
No
but,
bueno.
Yeah, but I remember, he would tell everybody stories about, when Saving Private Ryan was coming out. They absolutely refused to go see it because, I mean, you lived the actual thing.
Yeah,
like,
you don't want to be in that.
Like you saw all that. Why the hell would you want to relive that?
Yeah, it's not that's the thing is, Hollywood is quick to capitalize on these things, right? You can spit out, oh, it's an homage, like we're trying to celebrate what happened, the people that were involved, the people that fought for this country. It's like, no, you wanted to make some money. That's at the end of the day, that's what you want. Like, look at all these fucking Ron Howard movies about,
oh no,
fucking hikers that get stuck in a cave, and he makes a movie 13 hours after they get saved. It's like, you're not trying to fucking protect anybody.
No, you're just kind of capitalizing off what happened.
You're fucking greed. That's the greed. Mark Wahlberg loves starring in those movies.
Oh yeah.
Although, you know which one really fucked me up? Was the one with the oil rig one. That movie fucked me up.
Deepwater Horizon?
That movie fucked me up, man. I don't know why, but I was watching that movie. It was right. I was staying up. I remember I was staying up to go on Jarbo's show, and I was like, "What can I do?" And I had like 3 hours, and I was like, "You know what? I'll put on this fucking movie that'll, it's a Mark Wahlberg movie. I'm probably not going to pay attention. He's not a good actor. Well, he's not a great actor, and." Dude, it fucked with me so hard. Like, I don't know why. I think I was very emotional that night, though. But it fucked with me. I was on Jarbo's stream. Like, I was like, I can't even fucking sit still. I can't even sit still. Yeah, because they captured the claustrophobia of it, and I get really like you in heights. I get very uncomfortable when it comes to small spaces. So,
Dude, my fear of heights is so damn bad that I can't even go to my local state fair and get on the fucking Ferris wheel.
See, heights, like that's the thing about heights, though. Heights is like, if you get up that high and you fall, you got to just accept it. You accept it. But if I'm in a small space and I can try to help myself get out of it, like that's what my body like wants to fight, right? My body reacts to it. Like, we can get out of here. If I'm falling off the top of a fucking Ferris wheel, the cat's out of the bag, man. I'm dead. Like, you don't have much fight there. But I think that's the difference of it. So that's the way I approach it.
Like, I can't ride any. Now think about it. I can't ride any of the rides at the fair. Like, you see all these videos of these rides malfunctioning and coming apart, and people getting hurt.
You can't walk through life like that.
Like, holy shit. Well, I kind of can when the guy that put the shit up looks like he lives at the bottle of a fucking whiskey bottle. Like, I mean, and is shooting up every
No, okay,
5
okay, okay.
times a day.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a difference between the carnival though. Like, I'm not talking about the carnival, right? Like rides at like Disney and shit. You don't get on them?
well, yeah, well, stuff at Disney or some of these bigger theme
Well,
parks. I
not
mean,
not even a roller coaster. I'm talking about like, would you get in the Tower of Terror? Where
I
you
mean,
literally the ride is going high and getting dropped.
probably not.
Yeah, see? So you just don't like but a roller coaster kind of keeps your attention, right? That the other ones don't. Like the other one just wants to get you pretty high and then drop your stomach out of you. That's the point of it. Yeah, I
Well,
can understand why you wouldn't like that.
well, I think that there's also a major difference between these fair and carnival rides versus rides at like the Disney or Universal theme parks. Because dude,
Well,
well,
no, man.
I mean, I could
They're
be
the
wrong,
same. They are. They're the same
but
thing. It's just one. One is you're able to take it on the road, right? Like
yeah,
you can disassemble it and put it back together again, right?
yeah,
Because there's a guy in my family who used to like work in the carnival. I know that's terrible. He's
no,
not really
it's
like
fine.
it's not me. I can't fucking do it. But I always ask him these kind of questions. What's the difference between the ride at the carnival that comes to my town and like Six Flags? And he was like, well, obviously like the quality at Six Flags is a lot better, but there's really no difference. It's just one can be transported and one can't. One's bolted into the ground. Now,
Yeah.
obviously the one that's bolted in the ground has a better success rate.
Plus they're always checking on those rides and making sure
Yeah,
that they're working properly.
the towns that those carnivals come through, they send people out to check everything. Like they do a good job. Not a lot of people get on the news by dying at the carnival. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Think about that. Not a lot of people.
Well,
But shit has
what?
gone wrong.
Well, why would it when we could just talk about this
Trump getting raided.
or this new mass shooting that just occurred this week?
Oh, really? I see
No,
those.
well, no,
Those
I'm
I
just
stay
using
out of
that as
those.
an example.
Yeah, I stay out of those. But like this thing with Trump getting raided, I'm interested in it. One, because now there's reports coming out that something to do with nuclear shit. We all
Really?
know. Yeah, nuclear shit. And I hate to bring this up, but guess what's tied to nuclear? UFOs. So could the government, I mean, dude, what other documents would you take from the White House? I would try to take documents like that. I wouldn't take a document about the location of like an ICBM missile, right? Who gives a fuck? If
Yeah.
you know where it is, you know where it is.
Like, do you really
What did
care?
he really have with him?
Why the hell would I want to? Why would I want a road trip around the country just looking for nuclear silos? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I can guess where most of them are anyway, right? They're in like things like Mount Cheyenne and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Area 51, like those places. We know that they're probably nuclear. They have nuclear capabilities. Those things. So what I want to know is, I don't, the whole Trump thing. Like, yeah, he's a loser. Whatever, call him what you will. I really want to know what the documents are that he took, because, hey, if I was a president and I wanted to get out of the White House or something, it better be fucking important, right? It
Yeah.
better be important. So
Well,
I wonder who's wearing a wire and fucking
I
getting this dude caught up.
I know they raided his house, but did they find anything?
Yeah, they took 10 boxes.
Huh.
Yeah, bro. Trump, you don't think that the fucking the man, the legend, the embodiment of evil that Trump is wouldn't fucking steal shit from the White House? Come on. If I'm the president,
he's probably got a life-size portrait of Obama just pasted on his wall in there or something.
Yeah, and it has it has like a abnormally small penis on it.
He's probably using it for like a dartboard or something.
No, they're saying that he took classified documents. So
okay,
and some of them pertain to nuclear capabilities or have something to do with nuclear something. So that leads me down that path of suspiciousness. So I definitely want to know what he took. But will we ever know? Probably not.
No,
which I think sucks.
No, because the government wants us to think that we're the only ones still living in the universe for some reason.
But think about this. I was trying to wrap my head around it. Doesn't a standing president have a Secret Service detail? Did Trump deny that? He probably can afford his own security, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
because if you think about it, if the Secret Security is one that's protecting him, and the FBI comes walking up, they're just going to step aside. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those are brother in arms, right? You know, they all work for the same people, so they would literally just step aside and let them in. You'd have to let them in no matter what. But I feel like if it was a personal Trump detail, like a personal Trump security detail, maybe they would have tried to hold it up so that some stuff could get removed. I don't know. It all seems so weird to me that this is happening. Not that they're not out to get that guy. They definitely are.
All I know is that our government does that. All I know is that our government does whatever the fuck they want to do, and whatever they do, I mean, if they choose to tell us or not, I mean, they're not going to fucking tell us. I mean, they'll do whatever the hell they want. And, we can sit here and question it all damn day.
Yeah.
They're not going to give us a fucking explanation other than fuck you. We're the government. We can do what we want.
See, that's not, but that's a terrible way to look at it. Not saying that you're not right. You are, but for them to say that, because the government was created by the people and it was for the people to work for them and make sure that our rights and liberties and all that was filed incorrectly and held to that standard. It's so sad to see how far it's fallen since then.
It no longer feels like that. It no longer feels like the government serves the people.
Yeah, and I do want to know more about what's going on, because I've been watching more podcasts with Ryan Graves. So Ryan Graves is a very, very decorated military man, right? The guy, he was a naval aviation safety officer who the video, the gimbal with the UFO that rotates. So that's his squad, and it's not necessarily he thinks it's aliens or anything like that, right? He was submitting reports of safety, like, hey, these things are almost hitting us, like, eventually someone's gonna, like, if these things are big enough where if it hits the jet, dude, that whole whoever's in that jet is dead, right? So are we gonna wait for that to happen? And so he kept submitting these safety reports, and the military didn't take it seriously, never followed up on it. And that's a fucking, like, he's a Boston guy, so hearing him talk about it, it's like kind of hits home a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Anyone that is from your area, I guess it'll hit home a little bit more with. But like, imagine just wanting to do the right thing, like not even giving a fuck whether it's a UFO or a Russian drone, just wanting to be safe and not getting anywhere with it, right? That's frustrating. He's like, it's like, I'm trying to protect people. The people that protect this country, literally the first responders in the military are these people in F-18s, right? The Super Hornets, because they can get in and they can get out really quick, without being detected almost, right? Depending on how they're flying, whether they're masking themselves in a low flight path or something else, right? So these people, we need to, when they're saying something like that, like there's an actual issue of safety, of flight safety, I think there's more to that than anything else, right? If there becomes a safety issue, that should trump everything, no pun intended. That should trump UFOs, that should trump aliens, that should trump everything, right? Is the protection of these people. So that's scary to me. I don't know where we're going, but
fucking, I don't know. I think we're just going on and on, man. I kind of like it.
No, I mean, I don't know where we're going with the next step of this. What's the next step? Think about it.
Oh,
what's the next step? They've already released videos of these things, right? And the Pentagon said, okay, yeah, they're real. What's the next step?
Maybe they actually, maybe they, okay, maybe not.
Nope. There's only one next step. The only thing that could come next is someone showing up, like legitimately showing up, or them saying something else is here. Maybe, but people they're always like, oh, fucking aliens, from fucking Sagittarius A. What if they've been here longer than we have?
Right.
What if they live in the bottom of the ocean?
I mean, you think about, the billions upon billions of years that, our galaxy and the universe has existed. I mean, there's a good possibility that, before we came here, there was something else.
Or something that maybe
something primordial.
No,
has always been here.
Think about the basis of religion, right? Most religions have this precedent of beings that come from the sky, come down, right? And then, like, we build shrines to them and all these things and yada, yada, yada. Like, most religions have that basis. Something came from the sky, then we worship them as gods, right? That's the basis of it. Now, you can insert God here, but what if the term is just changing throughout the ages, right? What we used to perceive, because what do we do as human beings? When we can't understand something, we use other words that we do understand to explain the unexplainable. So when we talk about dragons, when I know it sounds crazy, but when the Chinese speak about dragons, what if that was the closest thing they could think of that flies in the sky and spits fire?
Right.
What if that was the closest? They have no fucking word for airplane at the time. They have no word for, like, the bird and dragon are really the only two things that fly in those early cultures. Like, dragon being mythical and bird being something you can fucking see, right?
Yeah.
So Native Americans tend to have gods riding on birds, and the Chinese, their gods riding on a dragon. And so maybe we need to stop taking it so literally.
Well, even, let's travel from China all the way to Egypt.
Oh, don't even bring up. Don't bring up ancient aliens in my fucking presence. I don't. But
I mean, I'm just touching on it a bit because
no. I'm talking about Eric. I don't think that ancient aliens is off by this crazy amount. Like, they definitely fucking exaggerate and shit. And there's some of their theories are ridiculous. And that idiot guy with the big hair, he's a meme. Whatever, Giorgio Tsakanos, that guy is a fucking idiot. That guy, we have to face it. Most of the UFO shit is 90% bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You have to wade through all that bullshit, and the shit you're left with, that's the stuff that actually is really interesting, right? Like these videos from the Pentagon with a fucking, by the way, what craft do you know that can spin while moving at 1,000 miles an hour, that can rotate? Nothing I've ever seen.
Nothing on Earth.
Nothing on Earth at this moment, unless Bob Lazar is correct.
You're going to laugh at me just because, we're sitting here talking about aliens and we were talking about Nope earlier. I can remember when I was a kid. Do you remember that movie, The Fourth Kind?
Yeah.
I for the longest time.
The Fourth Kind or Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
No, The Fourth Kind. It had Mila Jovovich in it.
I know which one.
Yeah.
Most people are talking about the other one.
Yeah. Well, dude, when I was a kid, I thought that shit was real. It scared the shit out of me for the longest fucking time because half of it was shot like found footage. So they were like, oh no, this actually happened. And then, the other part is like completely reenacted with Mila and, all the other actors. And you're sitting there watching it. You're like, man, this is some fucked up shit.
Well, what's funny is Close Encounters of the Third Kind with Steven Spielberg. The guy, Jacques Vallée, who's a real person, is depicted in that movie. Project Blue Book, the guys that ran Project Blue Book, which was a military program to study UFOs, consulted on the film with Steven Spielberg. So Dr. Hynek, who was the physicist, the astrophysicist on the or the astrologist. He's an astrophysicist or astrologist, whatever. He consulted with Spielberg on the film. That's why the movie feels more like it's a shot documentary than anything, right? Is because, I mean, they were, and then same thing with Fire in the Sky. Fire in the Sky is the story of Travis Walton's abduction. Like, that's a legitimate abduction, or so quote unquote legitimate abduction.
Wasn't that the one where he was basically out in the middle of the woods with a bunch of his buds?
No, they're loggers. They're finishing up a job, and they see something over the gulch in the clearing, and they go towards it. Or Travis goes towards it and gets him. So the real story, the thing that Travis claims 5 days.
5 days. Okay.
He was gone for 5 days, and they thought, so the other 6 people, because it wasn't 5 like the movie made it out to be, it was 7. So the other 6, they went to they looked for him a little bit, but then they went to the police station and they were accused of murder.
Oh yeah, they accused him of killing him, dumping his body somewhere. I remember this now that you talk about it.
They accused him of murder, and then the guy showed up 5 days later, telling a story about being abducted.
He said in interviews, he said he got back and like called everybody from a phone booth, just telling them what the fuck had happened.
Yeah, and he got to the phone booth. He called his brother. His brother, he said he called his brother, told him that he was at where he was, and then he thinks he passed out because the next thing you know, his brother was there. They brought him back to the house, kept him alone. Like, they weren't going to bring this guy to the police station to have him interrogated. He couldn't even stand up. So they kept him at the house for a night, let him get his strength back, and then brought him out to the police station. And that's where the legend takes off, right? So he starts telling this story about being abducted, and no one can really say he wasn't. That's the thing. That was the scariest part of it. No one could say he wasn't, because the guy was missing for 5 days. So Travis Walton was on Joe Rogan. He explained the story there. There's definitely some holes in the story. Abduction is kind of where I draw the line.
Well, even if let's just say theoretically, even if aliens and abduction wasn't involved, he still disappeared for 5 days.
There's something there.
So where did he go? You know what I mean?
Rogan brought up a good point. It was like, did you ever have to go to the bathroom? Like, and he's like, yeah. Like he laughed about it then, but it's like, you think about it, like, guy was gone for 5 days, abducted. Where did he go to the bathroom in the UFO? They have toilets on there?
Yeah, do they have like little porta potties or some shit?
Or is it like were they hooked up to something and it was doing it? Like, yeah, you can't really. That's the plausible deniability with the whole UFO thing, because anything could fucking be real about it, right? You can't say UFOs are real and then not believe in fucking cloaking ability, right? Like, if it could travel here from God knows where, it could probably hide itself or affect your machinery.
Like you can't believe in aliens but not believe in interdimensional travel or parallel universes or stuff like that. I mean, dude,
hopefully in our lifetime, wouldn't it be so fucking crazy? Because you got to think, what are the 2 biggest questions that we have as human beings? What happens after we die, and are we alone in the universe? Imagine our lifetime, we get an answer to one of those.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be great.
That'd be fucking insane.
Because the only people that can answer that question about whether or not there's actually something that goes on after we die are people that are dead. So,
imagine by answering the second question, we also answer the first question, right? So imagine we meet a civilization that had a million years jump on us, right? They didn't have an asteroid come down, hit the fucking world that they're in, and have them start from scratch, right? That's happened to us 3 fucking times, where life started to go, and God threw a rock at it and started it over, right? So we've been, whatever faith you believe in, or if you believe in the other thing, at most our planet has been around for 4.5 billion years, right? That's the longest. So in that amount of time, some shit's gone wrong. So what if we meet a civilization that never had anything happen, and they were allowed to evolve and grow and all that time that we missed, right?
Right.
So say they have 1 million years ahead of us, and they've fucking answered all the questions. And then by finding them, we're able to answer the questions.
Yeah.
I mean, it would fundamentally break, like, say you're like a hardcore Christian. I mean, sorry, I guess.
I'm religious, man, but I'm not like super hard. I'm not like super hardcore like everybody else is.
Even the Vatican says that the Vatican came out and said that there's most likely other life in the universe. So if the Vatican is changing their idea upon that.
Well, I don't know how well, that's one of the things that kind of gets me when it comes to this whole argument, because I've actually had arguments with people about this in the past. They're like, no, there's no aliens out there. Oh, that's just bullshit. I'm like, but you can't look at the billions upon trillions of just infinite number of stars and solar systems and galaxies out there and not think that there isn't someone else or something else out there. There's no way that the universe is this fucking big and we're the only ones living in it.
There are a couple different things about this, right? So I like to say that there are like most likely 4 to 5 possibilities. Now, the first being we're alone. Fuck, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah,
that's a hard that's a hard pill to swallow, because that's a cold, dark universe. And that doesn't make me feel good. Honestly, thinking about us being alone in the universe doesn't make me feel good. Right? It's a very, very lonely thought. I'm already fucking lonely enough as it is. I don't need to be alone in the universe as well. Fuck.
Come on, Ty, you ain't that alone.
the second possibility is we're not alone. And there's just as many planets like this as we can imagine. Equally scary when you get down to brass tacks. Right? So both the first two options are scary to think about.
Yeah.
But they are realities.
Well, if you also add on to the fact, if there are civilizations out there beyond our solar system, I don't know.
What was that?
That was my webcam. I'll get that fixed. Just to kind of go back to what you said about, the other civilizations out there. I mean, who's to say that we run across one that, is friendly, that wants to kind of integrate with us and show us some things, or who's to say we run into one that just wants to do nothing. But yeah, War of the Worlds, Independence Day kind of thing, where they just come down and they want to blow us to hell and take all our resources.
Have a nice planet. We're gonna take it.
Right.
Well, historically, we think about it. Whenever an advanced civilization meets an inferior civilization, it doesn't tend to bode well for the inferior civilization. However, our data point is strictly human. So you cannot throw that into the universe, because, there again, who's not to say that the more we advance, the more that your species realizes that war is pointless. Right. And working together is the only way that you're going to come to that singularity. Because, for a singularity to happen, for this planet, for us to be able to to really master the realm of the physical world, we're all going to need to have a singular fucking vision, right? No more countries, no more of that bullshit, but a singular vision. We are human and we are from Earth. That's the goal. Get the fuck out of here, or expand, But if one day we come to that, hopefully that's where evolution leads us. That's a good thing, because if that is what if that's what we can do ourselves, then who's to say, the alien civilization from there that has 1 million years on us, hadn't already come to that conclusion. They don't want war anymore. They just want to make sure that we continue on our own path, in that, have a fair shake at things, and maybe they don't want to interfere. They're like, hey, let them do their thing. That's the whole zoo theory, right? Is that they are watching us. They do know that we're here, but they're not going to step in, because once they step in, they essentially change our fate.
Now,
right?
what about this reptilian theory, or this?
Oh, come on, get on.
No, hold on, because I mean, we just talked about, they're obviously watching us, because why the hell would they keep coming here if they weren't?
Right.
So
what do you mean about reptilians?
Well, I was just gonna say, do you think that there are extraterrestrials out there that look like us? They're just kind of blending in, maybe. Not
That could be,
saying that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not saying they're reptilian humanoids from Mars or anything. I'm just saying, do you think there are beings out there that might look like
I could definitely
us?
not put it past it. There's nothing that says that, again, back to the whole basis of religion. What do they say about mankind? That we were made in the image of our gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't take that literally and we take that as the word being changed along because as science is slowly taken over, the word, it's gone from like, angels flying in the sky to UFOs. So the word, the mythology is constantly changing. So
yeah,
if we weren't taking that so literally, maybe they have stepped in before and they altered something in these microbial or microorganisms so that we had maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe a supernova is going to explode in a million years and they're like, these people don't have enough time to evolve. We need to step in, give them a shortcut, get them up to speed and get them out of here. So maybe who knows? I mean, there's so many infinite possibilities. Hollywood just made us think that they're all bad.
I kind of feel bad for them if they do that because, I mean, what man doesn't understand, they fear and they come to hate it. I would hate to think that,
Look at
it
how
would
we
be.
treat other people.
I was just gonna get to that point. It would be really fucked up because, like you said, we can't even treat each other right. We're still fighting over shit like skin color. You know what I mean?
What if
So
this green ugly fucking thing drops down?
So what
and then
makes
we
you
all hate them?
so what makes you think that these motherfuckers are gonna come down from space, be all happy and be nice and say, "Hey, we want to help you earthlings out. We want to progress your science, your medicine, whatever. We'll help you with it." Do you really think every person on earth would be like, "Yeah, let's do that. That's such a great idea." They would stone the fuck out of them.
The immediate words would, so as soon as they were like, "We're here to help," the immediate response from humans would be like, "Okay, we need a weapon so we can stop them." It's like
they're over here like, "But we just said we come in peace."
Yeah, they're like, "All right, give us a weapon to neutralize you, because now we need that. That's what we want." Right? It would all come down to war or something. Oh God, I can't even deal.
All I'll say is them aliens better look like the blue people from Mass Effect. Otherwise,
no, there
it may not go so well.
There's this idea that they would be the classic shape bipedal, if you want to look at it that way. 2 arms, 2 feet, and a head. The classic 5-star being, right? 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. I think that would probably be a constant in the universe, because if we look at DNA as the building blocks, then who's to say it's not a template?
Well, you also think about, other creatures out there. You look at our own ecosystems here on Earth. What if they were more animal-like? You know what I mean? More predatory-like in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a possibility of that too.
Yeah. Who's to say the dinosaurs didn't keep going?
Right.
Who knows that dinosaurs didn't evolve into something that was intelligent? We don't know because they died here.
Have you ever heard the theory about the reason,
Dude, wait, hold on. I just thought about this. Imagine being aliens and coming down and there was fucking dinosaurs here. That would be so scary. You come down here, you're like, "Oh shit, this is a nice little planet," and a fucking T-Rex walks out. You're like, "Nope, see ya."
they're just chilling. They're like, "Oh, this looks pretty nice," and all of a sudden it just stomps on their fucking ship.
Like you're like, "We're too early."
Like, "Oh shit, go back too soon.
There are people that say that we are alone in the universe, or we're not alone in the universe, but we haven't found anyone else yet, and we haven't found anyone in the year 3000. And actually, what it is time travel. So it's us in the future coming back to
go on.
Yeah, there's a really, really big theory that you can't Rule out the possibility. Why else would UFOs be seen by people but never actually confirmed? What if it was us staying out of our fucking way?
Right.
We already know not to come. We already know to not be seen because we know how we are. So we fucking stay away. And it's more like a ride at Disney. You can just come back in time and check it out.
It is a pretty good theory.
Dude, it gets you thinking. But that opens the door. Literally, I have so many theories. And that's the cool part about it, is it could be anything. We just don't know. And I think that's the hunger that keeps feeding me to keep wanting to know. And that's why I've been so interested in it lately, is like, there are questions that are so much bigger than, will the Snyderverse be restored? Let's get down to it. The Snyderverse, fuck it. I don't care. What I do care about.
It's not coming back.
No, I would love it. But then again, like it's the same reason I lost interest in sports, right? Is it's so primitive. And it's so like, it's the same shit every year. So then like I really got into like more, watching more movies and like doing this show and all that. And I'm kind of starting to lose touch with like these communities, like the DC Zack Snyder community. Cause like I just look at them, I'm like, dude, it's so petty.
Yeah.
There are so many bigger fucking questions out there.
Like there's so much other things out there in the world, not just the world, but the universe you could be exploring, but you're just worried because go ahead.
Would you go to Mars? If you could sign up for one of those fucking colony things, would you do it? I would.
I would. I mean, honestly,
you have to leave. You have to leave her. You have to leave everything. You can't just say on the show, yeah, I would go right now. I'm saying if I have a ticket in my hand and I say, you have to leave everything in your life behind right now and come with me and we're leaving and you're probably not coming back, would you go? Probably not.
I'm going to Mars and I'm leaving you here. Sorry.
Okay. Bye. Nice meeting you, stranger.
I think a lot of people would say yes, but they wouldn't go. I would actually go.
I'd go too. I mean,
even if I had, this is how you know I'm serious. I would leave my dog behind. If someone gave,
leave your dog behind.
I love, and everybody knows I love that dog more than fucking any human in the world. And if I had the chance, I would find him a good home and I would go.
Honestly, I'd probably go just because I'm getting so fucking tired of people here on Earth. I'd like, you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with the Martians. Let's do that.
People always think that, right? Chances are you're alone with like 22 people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a haunting thought to some people.
And it's up to that group of 22 people to populate that planet. Mm-hmm. That's pretty daunting.
I think a lot of people on the surface would be like, yeah, I'd go. But then when it came down to it, they'd be like, actually, I think I have homework that's due. And like they would just run away. Like, come on.
It's Tony Stark asking Peter Parker to go to Germany. He's like, I can't, I got homework.
Yeah. And there's actually no guarantee you make it either.
Oh yeah, right? You could die, something could happen on the way there. I mean, the shuttle or the ship or whatever, it may not touch down right. Something might malfunction. You don't know.
So I would go because I would like to be in like the history books and I would like to make a difference. And if that's the way I can make a difference, then yeah, I would take the shot and hope for the best. But I'm not gonna lie, it'd be very lonely. Like, well, what are you gonna do? I mean, you're just on Mars at that point. Or insert planet here, right? Not even that it has to be Mars, but I think I would weigh the pros and cons and actually go.
Right.
I think that'd be a really fun experience, but yeah. Anyway, I'm probably gonna end it there.
That's fine, man. I'm getting tired and
one last thing.
Go ahead.
Is there gonna be DC Fandom this year?
From the way
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Because what are they going to market?
What, Black Adam and Shazam?
That's it, right? I've been really thinking about this. Like Jarbo and them, they're like, oh, I think they'll still be Fandom, and I'm like, what are they going to do? For the third year, they're going to show us the same movie?
Right, because I mean, at Comic-Con, we had a little over a month ago. I mean, all they did was talk about Black Adam and Shazam, but they had. This was before the cancellations, so they still had Batgirl. They didn't show anything for that.
Yeah.
There's stuff for Blue Beetle. That's are they in post production for that?
They're currently their picture. I don't know if they're picture locked yet, but I know they're doing reshoots because that's when the shootout happened.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
so Eric's bringing up Nordic aliens. Those are the ones that apparently look like us, but just blonde. So they're always like very beautiful blonde.
But yeah,
and they wouldn't want you when you were 60, homie. you'd be a liability.
But yeah, just from the way it's looking, I don't think there'll be a DC fandom this year.
Me either. Well, with that being said, I hope you enjoy a lack of DC fandom. But anyway, Marvel's doing all right. The She-Hulk stuff's coming along.
Yeah, can't wait.
She-Hulk's it looks better each time I see the trailer, so I'm definitely gonna watch it. I just don't think it's gonna be my favorite. Right? It's definitely gonna be geared towards women, and that's okay.
No. Well,
I pressed that by accident, but I have to let I have to let it play because it's Christian Bale.
That's fine, man.
Dude, I totally fell for it the other day. Someone said that he was cast as Shadow in Sonic 3, and I fell for it.
I've heard rumors that they're gonna get Keanu Reeves to do the voice of Shadow.
Dude, they have a good the fact that they brought Idris in for Knuckles, I thought was pretty generic, but then he killed the role.
I know. He was great.
I was like, wow, that was great. So super happy about that. That Sonic film, I was so surprised that it even worked in the first place. And now it's kind of setting an example for other video game adaptions.
It's become a cultural phenomenon. It's really weird.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I love it.
And I can't wait till they bring Shadow in. I can't wait. I mean, there are so many characters that you can keep going with. I thought they did the Master Emerald too soon. I would have built it up like the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And then kind of done something like that. The Master Emerald being last.
I was screaming my head off when he went supersonic, man. Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
I thought he was going to stay bad too. I thought he wasn't going to be able to. I thought that's where they were going to go with it, was he does it, but then can't get out of it. And he just becomes fucking, God. They're doing really good with that. Jim Carrey, what a great casting. Do
you think he'll be back for the third one?
I think he's going to take a break.
Well, I know. Well, I asked that because he said he retired.
Yeah, he said that 10 years ago too. But I think they'll take a break from it, and they'll bring, because you can't do him a third time in a row and have it be relevant.
Dude, I need Jim Carrey in the fucking fat suit, looking like Dr. Robotnik.
Well, that's what I think they're gonna bring him back as.
That'd be awesome.
That maybe like the fifth movie they'll bring him back, and maybe they'll play on the whole retirement thing. That's how he got fat, right? Is retirement?
He just retired and said, "Screw it, I'm just gonna eat as much junk as I can."
No more mushroom coffee.
Oh God! Don't remind me of mushroom coffee, son.
All right,
that's
guys.
disgusting.
Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I don't even know what to say. I had a good time, man. Thanks.
I did too, man.
Where can they find you for a future discussion?
If you guys want to follow me, you can find me at the official Unbiased Movie Nerd YouTube channel. I talk about all the latest movies releasing. I do Throwback Thursday I do throwback videos where I talk about movies from, probably the past 30, 10, 20 years, just depends. Started a whole new series where it's going to be called the Monthly Rundown. You guys will get to see a sneak peek into, my daily life and what I'm doing when I'm not behind the camera. That should post by the end of the month. And I just did my 500 subscriber special recently because I just recently passed 500 subscribers.
Yay.
So, yay! I'm making it. Hopefully,
I'm happy.
But yeah, that is the official Unbiased Movie Nerd YouTube channel. Go check me out, like, comment, and subscribe.
Hell yeah, do it, or else.
Oh wow! Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
I'll call him. Don't make me call him.
What did you...